Greetings, I'm Lice.
And I am Scandal.
And let's play a game together.
Yes.
All right, so we've got some questions about this. And the last episode was really a solidly financial episode of going, your plot of your game is about money. Why are we not focusing on the plot of the game?
Hi. I mean, it feels like though this whole game has basically been more about basically safety and stability.
It really has.
So one of the reasons why I think I've been confused through this game too is really just like, for me, socially, being financially unstable is basically a level of you're not safe.
It's unsafe. I was just saying, the thing is if you are not financially, like at least stable in the sense of you can leave it, even just predict that you're going to make it paycheck to paycheck for the most part.
Right.
You are not safe.
Yeah.
If you cannot guarantee you'll have a home, you cannot guarantee you have somewhere to go, anything like that. And even if you can say Regina has friends in these people, or not Regina, sorry, Lily has friends in these people, including Regina, including Luke, including potentially even extended after that. Like, she has been so isolated and a void, we have no idea where she would go if this fell through and what would happen to her.
You know what kills me though? Mm-hmm. We brought up her mom, and we haven't seen her mom at all. At all. Like, I actually was expecting that we were going to go into something about the mom.
Because she called her mom, and she thought about her. And the thing is honestly, I feel like they are gunning for the long game here. Like, this story is meant to move slowly and be in for the long game. However,
and go for every single item, 1 to 3.
Do you really want like us to be basically entrenched in financial anxiety, whether of like success or failure versus live or die? She is homeless or not the entire game.
I mean, I'm gonna run through some spoilers here because I'm pretty sure I can extrapolate pretty strongly. Lily is never going to lose. This is not what this game is about. She's not gonna get thrown out.
But if we know that, why do we keep thinking about it? Why does it keep being brought up again and again and again?
Because it makes for, I think, pretty easy drama. But again, though, it's like...
But it also doesn't make drama if you know you're going to win. Unless you're just going, but how will I win? And I can't care about that.
Right.
If I already know I'm going to win, it doesn't really matter that much how I win.
Right.
All right. And so then I go, then the drama doesn't do anything. All right. So we just told her about the party, and so it's not going to be a surprise anymore. So surprise party, here we come.
We're pretty much, sorry, I'm like, woo, time to burp today.
All right, let's see.
Excuse me.
So with 6 people.
So we actually told you a little fib back there.
Okay.
Wait, what? What do you mean?
Yeah, exactly.
This part is for you!
When did we tell her it wasn't for her?
Well, that's why I said, like, to me, tonally, that's where it sounded like it shifted where him going, hey, let's go celebrate your thing. And that's why I got angry at Luke going, you really did just take your child's party and flip it around and go, this is for the adults?
And did you actually, we're standing over here, all 3 of us eavesdropping on you over there, and then going, well, by the way, why don't we go celebrate? But he didn't say your new success, your new riches, your new discovery. He just said, let's move this over to the party zone.
Right.
Like, it really didn't feel connected. At
all? Yeah.
All right, this party's for you. Where's the cake?
Oh.
What?
I missed your birthday. I goofed up with your buck, and I just wasn't paying attention to you like I should have been.
Why?
I should have been and could be.
Could have been.
Again,
or like,
so
is one way to do the relationship. Again, there is no functional obligation for your parents to pay a certain kind of attention to their children.
Right.
Like, parenting can be done in any number of ways that either turn out good or bad, healthy or unhealthy, depending on how the parties involved engage with them.
Or there's also that thing of a mixed bag. It's not exclusively just good or bad or healthy or unhealthy.
You
That's
can have,
very dichotomy.
It is. It's,
like,
and it's not that much of a dichotomy at all. You can have really good and really bad experiences. You can have any kind of experience with your parents, and it is not dependent upon or basically a crux upon just whether they do the right thing. There is no the right thing, and there is no right way to do it. Well, parents need to spend a certain amount of time with their kids, or a certain kind of time with their kids.
I was also going to say, every single kid is truly unique. What bothers me here is going like, I feel like there's some sort of sense of being like, maybe Karen is in that way of going like, I don't like these things, that both of us would go, why wouldn't you like a playset?
Right.
Like, that playset would be badass as hell.
Now, I feel like if you really wanted Luke to be that tone deaf, you needed to make the playset really tiny.
Yes.
You needed to make it so small.
And it would be for
it would be like she would stand by it. It would be like a 4-year-old kind of thing.
Yeah.
Because when it's that big, it is for a kid her age.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like that kind of thing. I mean, they make playgrounds for adults. They really do.
They really actually do, and it's fascinating.
And
it's
they're
actually
big, huge, sturdy structures that are meant for all ages and all abilities. And you even have like trampoline parks where the adults are included. You even have like zip line parks where the adults are included. And you have interior like play and party spaces, which are like basically like obstacle courses, climbing walls, mixed stuff with bumper cars, everything that are for adults and kids.
However, what I will also say, for me, in Luke's defense, we also, as players, haven't literally fucking learned anything about Karen either. They're basically telling us, I feel like, as the player, going like, you should also go, Luke is a big, huge dumbass and doesn't pay attention to his kid. But I gotta spoil you, game, we literally don't really know anything about her either.
Nope.
Like, you're going, he's a bad dad, but bad dad should be doing, this bad dad should be doing better.
But
and I'm like, in what way?
But
he doesn't even fucking know. Like, we don't even know. Like, Karen's never talked about it to Lily what Karen likes.
It's true. And the thing is she's only told us basically what she doesn't like, for the most part, even if she did suggest, hey, one color option kind of thing that she might like. But this experience of going, we know very little about any of these characters.
Right.
And we seem to be supposed to like Luke because he's so bumbling.
Right.
Which I think is terrible, because again, they keep showing him to be incredibly competent.
Hyper competent,
but no one interacts with it other than, you've solved your problem.
Right.
You went and repaired your electrical fuse box.
Immediately,
and
in front of everyone.
Completely, with no electrical issues, not hurting yourself, anything. And so you know electrical work as well as sculpture, as well as car repair, as well as like building and construction and restoration. And it doesn't matter if the balcony on top of your house looks like it was built by a 5-year-old. It actually wasn't, because you actually were able to build a stable structure that you could sit on that was up there. Like, you have a massive amount of skills, and basically everyone just shits on the results of them all the time, or going, yeah, you repaired the electrical. Thank goodness, because it was a nightmare beforehand. Not, wow, good job.
Right?
Not so good, you're so competent and you can't just do it.
Right.
Not him going, yeah, I should call her electrician.
There's a lot of weird implied potentials for what everyone could or couldn't be good at, which is what I'm confused about, because even with Lily, shockingly, for me, I'm going, we don't know very much about Lily either.
But as far as we can tell, based on the game narrative, she is brilliant at replanting, repotting, gardening, watering, maintaining things. Like, all of
she
this
can
stuff,
do carpentry. She can do everything that actually even Regina basically does as a professional job, which is wild. And also, by the way, what Luke can do, too. None of them are really all that unique.
And she can lay stone, she can lay tiles, she can rebuild things. Like, even though she's been hiring Regina for some things, or getting Luke's help with other things, she's been doing a lot of the fill-in in between it anyways. So, like, we have no idea what these people's skill sets are. And again, if you're going for realistic in some areas, it begs question in other areas. So you either have to, like, leave all of it. Or explain all of it.
Well, again, that's the thing, though. I'm like, or don't be realistic, but also, like, making each character actually way more distinct would have been a much better idea to me. Because right now, honestly, like, what they all perform in mechanics in terms of the game, like, considering that Luke can do everything that Lily can, and Lily can do everything that Luke can, and they both can do everything that Regina can, and vice versa. It's like, oh my god, you guys!
What is important about these people or these characters? Where is their value prospect? Because for the most part, you're engaging with value prospects of people. So I'm just going to go ahead and forward. But the thing is primary thing of going, when I should have been doing anything, there is no should unless it's agreed upon between the parties involved. And we understand that Karen is a minor, so you can't always agree upon it with a minor. But at the same time, kids can give you really helpful input into what they need and what works for them.
Have community. I was like, fuck. Again, like, I was super goddamn annoyed where people are, like, treating kids like they're idiots and going, you can educate children. You can teach them. They're not just pointlessly running around being terrors or monsters.
A child isn't another species. It's a small adult.
For my own self, like, I was actually on my Twitter feed for me, I was actually read this article, basically, or this person had this little short thing about, basically, there was this 10-year-old, there was their neighbor, that went over and basically just dropped water on their cat when their cat wasn't even doing anything, right? And harassed their cat. And they got angry, and they took a basin of water, and they dumped it over the child, right? And the parent came over and is apparently now screaming, at their front door kind of thing, how dare you? And it's like, says, I don't see what the problem is here, don't torture my cat. Kind of thing. And while I agree, I'm also going like, that sounds like basically a deeply neglected child of not comprehending basically personal space and also basically seeing an animal as a creature that has a full experience.
And then the thing is you can take it a few different ways. One, if you want the animal not to be, like, if the animal doesn't have to be a person or an autonomous creature at all, you can be like, you're not respecting someone else's property. That's their cat.
You
and
don't
but if you're teaching it as an empathy experience of, you just don't do that to living things. Like,
you can go on multiple levels. And that's the thing that bugs me, where I'm like, really, kids are not inane. Kids are not just stupid.
And the reason they're doing those things is to understand pieces of their environment. The reason people try things, whether they're adults, children, or anyone, is because they're curious and they're going, what will happen if I do this?
Like adults do, because guess what?
And again, it's because they don't know. All right.
But your feelings are important. So as long as you keep talking to me, I'm going to listen better now. Okay? As long as you keep talking to me, I'm going to listen better now. There's something about that grammatically, like the way that
It
sentence,
doesn't feel quite
that didn't
right.
work.
It feels
Okay.
almost like a little bit repetitive of I'm going to listen, but I'm going to listen better now, but keep talking to me in the future, but
Yeah, I
I'm
was like-
listening better now.
Yeah, and I'm
Anyway,
like,
so it's a little
what?
bit.
Okay, thanks, Dad. Speaking of backs.
Oh, did he swap it out? Did he swap it out?
Hey!
Hey, it doesn't have training wheels.
It doesn't. I thought maybe this one was more your style. Oh, did Rachel like take him out and they
That's
both
why I
like, went-
said, again, did Rachel help him? They showed up at the exact same time together. I'm interested in that narrative.
Uh-huh.
I'm just like, it's a thing. Anyway.
And again, all
it's
I have
camo. It's camo. He
It is
listened.
camo.
Ha, that's
Ah.
cute. It still looks too small for her.
It does actually look
Like, just, like, when a child is only about, 6 or 8 inches shorter than the adults, they pretty much need a full-size bike.
Yeah,
now, I
pretty
like
much.
the training wheels are off and the concept is good, but I will criticize the actual model size.
It's a
of,
little tiny.
The thing is when they measure you for a bike, you shouldn't be able to, like, stand up over the seat with your feet on the ground
Right.
without the seat touching, basically, you. So if you
Okay.
can stand over the bike and it's way below your groin, like the seat is between your thighs or something like that, or lower or by your knees,
Like
or anything,
mid-thighs or something?
Like, yeah, the bike is way too short. It
Right.
should be basically at your groin level.
Right.
So that when you lift your feet, so that you can have a foot down on the ground comfortably, but so that you're not like having to go down to get on the bike.
Or up on your tiptoes, for example, because also
Yeah.
that might be a
Okay,
sign
so-
that your bike is too big.
Yeah, exactly. So there's that level.
Which
of
is
that.
why adjustable seats are actually incredibly useful.
They're really good. And this seat looks like it's already up a reasonable amount. So anyway, I'm just
Yeah.
gonna say the bike should have been drawn a little bit bigger. That's my opinion.
Yes.
All right. Look at her.
Oh, yeah, it is!
That's very cute. Oh, look at it. Ha
ha, ha, ha.
That's
Good job.
adorable. All right.
Mom, Lily, check it out!
It's a
Wait.
bike.
Also, hang on.
What?
Okay, so excuse me.
Why'd she call Lily over?
Mom and Lily.
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I'm fine.
You're
I'm
okay.
fine. So the reason, again, so I understand that sometimes kids can really heavily attach on to certain people, but what's bugged me personally is I feel like as another adult
Uh-huh.
with a fantasy made up character,
Right.
I feel like that Lily is basically has been a patronizing adult towards this 10-year-old child.
I feel
who
like-
acts more like a 4-year-old, but that's okay, and that's another conversation. But still, it's like
I'm also having this experience of I think I'd feel weird as her mom, let alone
Oh,
if it was
yeah.
like mom and
And-
the neighbor chick. On the other hand, sometimes that can be a social thing. We don't know much about the social structure, so it can be an experience of I've just spent all day with Lily.
Right.
Lily's still here, so when Lily's still included in my experience because of that day.
right.
So it can work, but it feels a little like sudden, and unless you have that context
But
of going, Lily's still included, but going, hey mom, look at this.
But I also think the other reason that I'm personally, and this again, personal thing of going like I'm more uncomfortable with it is quite literally because Lily's also been basically
hasn't been
going,
treating her well.
Nah, but also Lily's been going, I need your approval because I'm interested in fucking your dad.
Yeah, pretty much.
Like,
That's
and
what
that makes
feels like.
me uncomfortable, and I'm like, literally, also your ex-wife is there, and also Luke is a disaster,
I feel
and
like
so is Lily.
It would have
Like,
been more natural if she'd been, Mom, look at this. Hey, Lily.
right?
Like you have your first impulse to the person you're really close to and connected with, and the person you've also been complaining to about your dad or frustrated with your dad in most like commiseration experience with.
Right.
And then going, Lily, also.
Or just being like, or just not calling anybody over. Like,
Yeah.
fuck that. Like, one of the things is there's another thing, like, in relation to, especially, like, even with adults. A lot of times, adults are just like, oh my god, look at this. They don't care.
They don't say a name
They
to
don't
anybody.
fucking, that's why I'm like, why
They're
would
just
you-
like, look at
Mom,
this thing.
Hey, Lily seems really, I don't know, because again,
Specific.
one of the things that I think is interesting about a lot of these stories is that each of these words are on purpose. These are
Right.
not just random choices.
They're not spontaneous. You have to write them on purpose.
They are not like in a real life situation, obviously, where a person just kind of goes, hey, I come up with a line and then I completely fubbed it.
And that's what's said anyway.
That's what's there, you know.
All right, now that's a Karen bike. How do you know that? You barely know Karen at all.
I know, and also, wasn't she not there for when she was talking about the color of the car?
I mean,
I don't remember Lily being over there at
She
all.
wasn't there for the car, so
Yeah.
she wouldn't know that camo is specifically a Karen color unless it happened off screen somewhere. Again, though, we did have that problem where it seems like the narrative is falling apart more the further we get into it.
Right.
Either because they're hitting like crunch time or they're trying to get things out on a regular schedule and they're not able to like focus as much on proofreading
Right.
or on like plot structure. Because Karen walking over to Lily's house and then her being like, let me talk to you about the car with no introduction in the house was one of the biggest major drops, and then you keep having more.
Or, again, what we're having is some sort of weird, if one character says this over here, we're having an omnipresent issue.
Everybody knows everything at all times.
Right?
And
Except
going,
that
"Whoa."
only when it's not convenient to the plot, because obviously Rachel doesn't know that Luke and Lily are making goo-goo eyes at each other, kind of thing.
Right.
Because they would then need to, you know, preserve that because that would be tasteless or something
Right.
like that. I don't even know. I'm not saying that Luke cannot move on and that Lily can't find another relationship. I just think it's weird considering the amount of stress that both of them have been under.
And that both their lives are very unstable right now.
Like wildly.
And they can't necessarily contribute stability to each other's lives right now.
And
because
also,
they have very different
Lily
challenges.
seems to fucking hate how dumb he is. I cannot express this enough. Where I hate how much she really is derogatory towards him.
He's a stinky, stupid, smelly, disorganized boy. God, I love that.
And I'm like,
that's basically what she says.
yeah.
And I'm going, okay, he's a stinky, stupid, smelly, disorganized boy. Ah, my heart. No? No. How about no?
Well, and again, I guess
also, how is that respectful of Luke in any way? And if you think he has a hygiene problem, one, you could talk to him about it. Or you have a different hygiene preference. You could be like, wow, you know, like this is something you can talk about to your coworkers, you can talk about to your friends, that kind of thing. But also going, well, he's just going to reek, and that's just how it is.
His natural musk.
I would say,
that went from being gross to suddenly going, now I'm going to be weirdly titillated around your 10-year-old. Not that I want to say that you should hide stuff like that from your kids of going like, these are things sometimes where adults are like
sex exists.
Sex exists. Like, I hate that conversation where people are like, you should never talk about sex around kids. And I'm like, how else the fuck are they supposed to learn about it? Because they sure as hell don't talk about it here in the United States. Our stupid sex education is abstinence only for the most part in a lot of areas, and it's really fucking frustrating.
All right, here we go.
Oh, so, okay, everybody, what a day! Let's eat some treats.
Yay! Hey! I'd like to continue with him. I'm just like, I don't know what this game is doing.
I don't know.
Later.
Oh.
We didn't eat anything. Also, treats, or do you mean sandwiches?
What cake?
Additionally, careful with the cake, Mr. Jones. You want those perfect teeth to stay perfect. He's got his banjo.
He does.
Also, is she singing to his banjo?
She might be
singing. That's adorable. Bye.
Oh, let an old man indulge himself.
It is a permanent briefcase. They cannot remove it from the model.
It's true.
He's literally got it laid on the armrest with his hand. Like, it has grown from his body.
This is my experience.
That is what I am.
Yes.
Also going, what cake? You could have just put a cake in there instead of a picnic basket.
I know. I'm like, is this just like supposed to be like a reuse for something else? Maybe for later?
I mean, it is the same sandwiches, so you know.
I know. Except with one extra.
Hey, Lily, can I grab you for a second? Of course. Sure. Here we go.
We're gonna talk to Rachel.
We just talked to Luke. Now we're gonna talk to Rachel.
Oh dear, this is the end of the day. We might be on this road.
We're gonna see what happens. Down by the lanterns, down by the sea.
All right, what's up?
What's up? You have an effect on people, don't you?
What?
Oh God, this is the Lily. You're special and powerful.
Hey, Lily, can I date you?
Her. Oh, honestly, that would be a freaking adorable thing. Both of them like you, and you're just like, I suddenly have two people interested in me, and my new friend also keeps flirting with me, even though she's married. I don't know what to do with myself.
Hi. I mean, really, you want to be the center of attention? Let people flirt with you.
What do you mean? I mean, you're here for 2 weeks, and suddenly Luke changes his whole tune on this custody stuff.
We don't know what this custody stuff is.
We also don't know what his tune was before, but that's okay. When she says his whole tune, though, does she also mean he wasn't interested before and now he is? Or does she mean he wouldn't work for it before and now he will? Like, what is his whole tune?
What are your values, right? Okay, again, I'm like, there's a lot of assumptions here and I do not know what they are. On this custody stuff, does he need to be involved with this custody
Lily looks
stuff?
so cowed here, like deeply unhappy. Like I'm so sorry. Like really super. Again, she goes really submissive when she's uncertain. Like it's impressive, but it's really strongly basically contrasted to how aggressive she can be sometimes.
I know, but also guess what? Some people who are actually incredibly submissive can actually be some of the most incredibly like verbally emotionally violent.
I don't know how I feel about
whoa.
this. You spend 2 days with my daughter and she's talking out her issues with Luke and wearing flowers in her hair. But you said she would talk them out anyways. You seemed uncertain about it, but you seemed also like, no, this is how it goes. And going, I don't understand why. Maybe she's super an introvert and normally adults can't get to her at all. So again, Lily's special. She can solve everything.
Have no context. And again, Lily treats her like shit.
Well,
like she really is also like, here, let me just she's
lived a really long life and she's done a whole lot of things. On the other hand, again, we still don't understand. We just don't know enough about this.
Oh, this is ridiculous.
But again, it really is this experience of going, Lily, you're super special. You do something that other people don't do. You cause something other people don't cause.
Hi.
Karen, flowers. Ha. That's not me. People just do stuff they want to do. That's all. Let me just dismiss the value you're trying to give me and the compliment.
I mean,
okay.
that makes sense and is understandable. A lot of people don't know how to take a compliment,
It's
myself
true.
included.
I don't think you give yourself enough credit. You've just got good energy, an aura, or whatever. I like it. You're an aura person? No. But if I was, I think yours would be bright pink.
That's adorable.
That's cute. I'm into it. That's cute. But listen, this is all to say, I consider you a friend, and I'm grateful for your help. You could have written me off as your friend's bitter ex, but you didn't. You gave me a chance, and my family is stronger for it, or we're making more progress for it.
I don't want to undercut it. I'm having some issues here because Rachel has barely gotten to know Lily at all. Even we, in their relationship, have barely gotten to know them as, like, individuals, and also together what that looks like as friends.
Also going, my family is better for it seems a long-term big statement, not, it's been really good the last few days.
Right?
Like, that seems like a big final statement of going, not, we've made a lot of progress, or things have really changed for the better, or it's really been so good right now. This is a level of also going, Luke has changed. And me having been in relationships where there's been the dominant thing of, I've changed. Not, I will change, not I will try and do new things, not I will try and, adjust my habits, not I will try and learn more, or we can progress together, we're developing new tools, but I have, in this moment, as of the statement, changed, and it's done. Whatever you're complaining about doesn't exist anymore, so it's not even a conversation point.
And then I would always laugh and
And
go,
then it comes up again.
and then it's back.
And then you've done it
With a
again.
vengeance.
And you
no,
go,
but I changed.
I was like, okay, you, I don't know. Anyway, that feels very, very final and complete to me. That feels like a little too much.
All right, fine, whatever.
I've seen enough movies about women tearing each other down. That's so cute. Okay, this I like. I
That's
only care about building each other up now. It shouldn't only be from movies, though. It's more like life experience. I mean, if you've been, especially with, like, aggressive guys like Blaine, you should have met some catty women, too, because a lot of them follow in those circles.
Yeah.
Like-
So I actually love that conversation where sometimes the people who engage honestly the most in misogyny or sexism or whatever it might be are also basically the very people that they're trying to point it out that happens against.
Yes, often the victims are much of the
Perpetrators.
perpetrators, or much of the people who
Abusers?
continue to bring it about. People
Yes.
who perpetuators.
Perpetuators, yeah.
That's what I'm looking for. I'm not perpetuators.
Yeah, because the thing is also the system itself literally sets everyone against each other because
So,
that's how it keeps control.
However, this says a huge amount about Lily of, I've never had female friends, I've never been around women, I've always been isolated my whole life. I have seen from movies how women treat each other. So now I will make a different choice in real life. Like, you can take this as an incredibly telling statement of who Lily has been in her life, of going, I've seen enough movies, not I've had experiences, I've known enough people, I've seen it happen.
Right.
It's literally, I've never done any of these things myself, I've only seen it in the movies, so I'm not going
Honestly,
to.
that's also like sort of terrifying in that context too, of being like, she really has been isolated and alone. Period.
Yes.
Men have controlled her life for so long.
That she's never had friends, she doesn't have any old coworkers, she doesn't have anything, and she doesn't even, like...
Wait a minute. Like, part of me also though wonders, like, does she ever like see her mom basically as a woman?
And well, that would be a
That's
question
also
too.
the thing too of being like, or
And
is her
also-
mom like where a lot of people will go, my mother is not included in this category because my mom is in the mom category,
Also
not
going-
the woman category.
Have you ever been friends with your mom? And I don't think kids have to be friends with their parents
No, not at
but-
all. God.
And also I think that friendships work differently when it's your parent, especially if you're not a fully established mature adult. Like,
Right.
Like they really do. On the other hand, not being close friends with either of my parents or really friends at all. I really have a like, I would just call it more of a mature parent-child relationship with my parents. Like, we're not friends.
Yeah.
Kind of thing going, this just tells a lot of going, you really, like, were you isolated as a child too? What was your mom in your childhood like? And again, have you ever had any friends? Like, do you have any friends that are going to show up at some point and be, Lily, I heard you inherited a house. Oh my God, I haven't seen you since college when you got your accounting degree. I haven't seen you in years. Or, hey, I know we talk all the time, but you haven't talked to me recently. What's going up?
Right.
Like, she has no friends.
Ugh.
Anyway,
It's
that's
really actually kind of weird.
That narratively says a lot about our theory and our understanding that Lily has been massively abused and isolated in her life.
Right?
Then, let's build something together. Friends? Friends! Hi, I'm desperate for friends. Great. We're gonna head out soon, I think, but we'll see you soon.
What if all of Lily's friends were basically, though, only in reference to basically Blaine? Which would make sense. Again, him more basically controlling her social circle, her social experiences, where she would get to go out to, blah, blah, etc.
But again,
like,
even when I've had that experience, I still get my friends that were pushed away by my abusive partner back when I don't have them anymore. They
Right.
can continue to like to contact me, reconnect with me.
But I'm saying, like, they only existed, though, within that context. Like, they were also abusive and toxic. They were more or less
But again,
more
going,
like
you
the ex.
didn't ever have any friends before Blaine. Did you date him when you were in high school?
Right.
All the way on up?
That is kind of weird.
Like,
But then again, like, so for me as well, too, like, I've never really, like, a lot of my old, like, high school friends or whatever else, I really don't know any of them. I know one of them, and that's sort of it, and I barely talk to them.
okay, so when I'm
even
talking
as
about
is.
friends in the context of my friends.
See, and I'm talking about it in the context of mine, but we've always had discussions where I'm
About
like,
friends
my friend
differently.
lies here, apparently always has people, like, jumping all over themselves to be like, yes, that'll be our friend. And I always look at them and go, the fuck do you do that?
Additionally, I get this experience of going, when I consider someone to be a friend rather than a good acquaintance or, just someone I know, what have you, I get very all in. One of the questions we get on this channel all the time is, are you guys sisters? Are you like, have you been together forever? Are you twins? Whatever it is. How well do you know each other? What are you? And I'm going, the level of friendship that I have with this, my good friend here, Scandal,
Yes.
is the level of friendship I strive for with my friends.
Yes.
We are all this ridiculous and finish each other's sentences / know each other's thoughts / have the same kind of ideas together
Yes.
and similar humor. Those are the type of people that I friend with. My friends, I will say, are smart, creative, capable, complex people. And that is, and usually also like damaged and thoughtful and suffer from some amount of depression due to those other brilliant features
I've
that I
been
love
called
so
out.
much. My friend fits in this category. But like I've even
Oh, you
discussed
love it so much that we hurt. But
Oh,
doing-
I do not.
I'm
but
ca- I
it
know.
happens to be a feature. I've done this sort of thing of like what is a common feature between your friends? What is the type of person you are interested in? And you sort of write down a list and you realize what it is you're drawn to. And you sort of it's an exercise of understanding yourself and your choices as
Right.
well as understanding who your friends are and do they fall into categories that are similar and is that something you like?
Right?
That kind of thing. Anyway, so for me, the types of
I
friends
don't
that,
think you like us being unhappy.
I
No,
do
just
not.
to be honest.
But the thing is are those the type of things you like or are those things that are just like companion traits?
Right.
I'm not attracted to or drawn to friendship-wise depressed people.
Yes.
But the highly creative, like sensitive, thoughtful, intelligent, introspective people I'm attracted to or am drawn to as friends tend to suffer from some kinds of depression because being really self-aware and thinking can be very painful. Because to be aware of your environment and your world and your reality, it can be very painful.
Yes, and
it
that's
is-
not saying that it has to be at all. Like, I actually give some people really excellent props for being like, I don't really interact with depression or feel the anxiety.
Uh-huh.
And I think that's really cool. There are also other people who don't.
And so for me, those were the kinds of friends that I made as a kid. And sure, I dropped or lost a lot of my friends, but the ones that I went, this was my best friend, I literally can not talk to them for 6 months, then talk to them again, and we're right on the same page.
Right.
And we're still good friends. And so I've been through a couple of really toxic relationships where I didn't talk to my friends that were my actual friends. And then when I'm out of it and I have space again and I have someone not suffocating my life, I go, hey friend. And they're like, hi, how are you? Oh my God. Are you okay? Did you make it? Kind of thing. And it's
Right.
not like they weren't offering support. It's just that often people perpetuate their own limited experiences by going, I can't receive support from you, or I don't even know what you're trying to support me through because I'm so entrenched in the experience I don't know what's going on.
Right.
Anyway, all right. We're going to head out soon, I think, but we'll see you soon.
That's
All right, so
adorable.
is that it? Night. And suddenly the sun goes down. Oof. I would have liked to see the cake.
I would
honestly.
have to.
I really would have. I also would have liked people to like eat the food.
Oh, no,
or
they're
bed. Oh,
dancing.
they are dancing. Oh, I want to see
Yes.
it. Dog is even dancing.
Yay, good job,
Good
dog.
job.
Look
at
all right.
him go.
Well, thank you very much, guys, Ben, for joining us. We appreciate it. If you like what we do, please feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and feel free to share. Also, if you want to support us more directly, please feel free to go check out our Ko-Fi and our Patreon. We've got some goals, and they're down in the description down below. So
Absolutely.
please, I have been Scandal.
And additionally, if you ever have any thoughts on any of this or you want to share something, please feel free to do so in the comments if you so desire. We do love hearing from you. We like people's ideas. We love hearing people's stories or when they relate to or connect things. And if you think anyone else would like our stuff, whether it's our more funny stuff or our more serious or introspective stuff, or if you feel like any of our conversations would be like a jumping off point to help you get started a conversation you want with somebody else, like please share our stuff around. Like no need to advertise for us, but if you think someone else might have fun here or benefit from what we do, please feel free to point them our direction.
Absolutely.
And in the meantime, I have been Liz.
And it was great playing with you.
Bye!